Hi, I'm Trevor Williams with Global Atlanta, and I'm here with Lindsay Liu, who is the Managing Director of Beijing, Georgia Business Advisory Center Limited, which is Georgia's 10th international office. And Lindsay, welcome to Atlanta. This is your first time here, is that correct?
Yes.
Great, well welcome and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your background. Some people that are doing business in China, Georgia businesses would definitely need to know you if they're going to make the jump overseas. So tell us a little bit about your background and where you come from.
After I graduate from college, I have a chance to join the biggest hotel chain in Asia Pacific, named Shangri-La Group. They have many hotels within Asia Pacific. So my job is to help the group to do the pre-opening job, where I provide the training to the new employee and give them orientation. And also later on, I also get chance to involve in operation. So I exposed to sales and marketing and public relations department, and also finally front office.
Okay. All right. Well, did you ever think that you'd end up working for a U.S. state or representing a state?
After the Shangri-La Hotel job, I got a chance to join Freshman Hiller, which is one of the famous leading PR consulting firm in U.S. It's very well known in U.S., where I have a lot of chance to provide consulting service to U.S. company to help them to build up their business in China.
Okay. Summarize your job for us, representing Georgia's interests in Beijing. What is your day-to-day experience like?
Our primary objective for the office is increase Chinese FDI and trade, as well as encourage tourism. That is the three key areas we cover.
Do you think that Georgia having this physical office in China, from a relationship standpoint, what does that do for the Georgia-China relationship?
I think it's very important to set up an office on the ground, because as you know, in China, relationship is critical important. To have a face-to-face interaction with the local government, the central government, as well as the trade organizations, which is our partners.
And many Georgia business people have been learning the importance of guanxi,
right,
and establishing these relationships. And I'm wondering, do you feel like we in Georgia really understand how to do business in China? What do we do well, and what do we need to work on a little bit?
I think first need to understand the market, and then find the right partner. Of course, it's part of our job to help the Georgia company to conduct research, to find appropriate partner. And it's very important to understand the local law as well, the regulations, so you know where you can go, where you cannot.
And a lot of people in Georgia know a lot about Beijing and Shanghai and the bigger cities like that, where the markets are more developed for foreign investment. But tell us a little bit in general about some second and third tier cities that might offer some opportunities in Georgia for Georgia companies.
Right now, China's economic maintaining two digital growth rates. So I think we see great potential from the whole country as a whole. So we establish good relationship with a lot of cities, including Jinan, Qingdao, where the government recently just paid a visit, and also some lovely cities like Wuhan, Ningbo, Chengdu. I think most of Americans know Chengdu by the lovely panda. Now we have a panda rule in Atlanta.
So what are some of the sectors which you think would really offer some opportunities for Georgia companies in those places?
Advanced manufacturing, aerospace, logistics, and life science.
Also, when people are doing business in China, they need to know how to navigate the larger cities, of course. And China has a lot of cities that are large by our standards. Talk about some of the issues in doing business in Beijing and Shanghai, places like that. What should we know?
Just respect the local culture and also understand the local practice will be very helpful, and find the right partner to find the professional consulting firm to help you. That's also very, very important.
The outbound investment from China has been increasing very rapidly. I think it's something like 20 billion outbound in 2007. Do you see the outbound investment increasing, and how can Georgia attract more of that outbound investment?
I think Georgia had got a very business-friendly environment, and with the strategic location, logistics, excellent workforce. I think all these advantages will attract Chinese company to come to Georgia and invest.
And so you think this is a trend that's going to continue, that Chinese companies are looking more to invest abroad?
Yes, that's the trend. It's despite the economic turndown, but I still see the great potential.
And Georgia, on the other end, Georgia has been able to export a lot more to China. How do we continue to open up new markets for Georgia's export products?
In terms of export, China is the second largest trade partner for Georgia. So I think, according to the figure last year, we already hit 1.7 million, and this will be also continue to grow.
And a lot of, along with that, a lot of travel industry professionals have started to look at China as a huge market. And there's recently an agreement where now Chinese group leisure tours can come to the U.S. And Georgia has been very focused on getting those visitors. What are you telling, how are you marketing the state as far as a tourism destination in China?
I think, as you know, China just finished the Olympic Games, successfully concluded. So I think the biggest connection to bring people to Georgia, we can play the card of Olympic Games as Atlanta holds Olympic in 1996. And also the novel, which wrote by Margaret Mitchell, is a great selling point. So because the novel and the movie is so popular in late 80s, so that's what. Also CNN, World of Coca-Cola, all these tourist attraction can be appealing to Chinese tourists.
Do you think that Georgia is a hospitable place? I mean, do we need to increase language learning and also signage and things like that to make Chinese tourists feel more welcome?
Yeah, that would be a great idea. Because when I travel to a foreign country, if I can see my own language, I feel more at home and comfortable.
Do you think that's very important to Chinese people?
Yes.
when they come?
Have
I think
the
so
good
too.
Chinese food and a good Chinese community where they can associate.
Do you feel like Georgia, how aware do you think people in China, just normal people, are about our state?
If you mention Georgia, maybe it's not as popular as you mention California and other states. But if you mention Atlanta, I think a lot of people know. So that is something we're looking at and we're working on right now to get the state of Georgia's name out.
And you know, in the United States, we've had a little bit of trouble with our financial markets recently. I'm wondering if you could tell us how people view that in China, and then how has the climate, for financial trade, things like that, changed at all since you've been working in the new office?
Actually, U.S. and China have a very close economic tie. So obviously, the recent financial crisis drew a lot of attention from Chinese company and Chinese entrepreneur. But I still see the potential for Chinese company continue to invest overseas. Despite of the recent financial crisis, for the exports from U.S. China still growing. So I think it will affect, but not that much.